Welcome in to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, I mean always, he means always, they mean always, you mean always, she means always, an instant classic.
Danny Dunn! Hi, Jake.
We will see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
What is going on, good people? This is your boy Juggernaut 097, and I am back here with another Juggernaut Retro Review. And this is episode number 27 of Juggernaut Retro Reviews. And I hope everybody had a good 4th of July weekend. And, since it's still, it's July 5th right now, I decided why not do a little retro review here of the Great American Bash 2005. Which I did the Great American Bash 2004 review a couple years ago. So like, you know what? Why not? I just try to get the rest of these Great American Bashes. The WWE versions of them, not any WCW yet. Yeah, but this show was held in Buffalo, New York on July 24th at the HSBC Arena in Buffalo, New York, like I said. But before we get started with this review, go follow me on all my social media platforms. Go follow me on Twitter at TheTrueJSB. Go follow me on Instagram, TheTrueJSB. And while you're at it, go subscribe to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always. She means always, he means always. I mean, even Tori Wilson means always in Instant Classic. I mean, it's an Instant Classic here. Which, we got Tori Wilson on the cover of this show here. Yeah, this show, oh man, I tell you, I don't recommend going and check out this Great American Bash because, oh man. A lot of disappointing things on this show, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and get started with this review now. So, the first match that kicks off Great American Bash, we got a tag team match for the WWE Tag Team Championships, which also, this is when they were doing the whole branded pay-per-view. So, this was a Smackdown exclusive pay-per-view. That's when they were still doing the whole branded pay-per-views. So we had the Legion of Doom, Animal, and Heidenreich, which, because Hawk, he passed away a couple years ago, but prior to this. And then they were going up against the tag team of Eminem. And no, not the rapper Eminem, like a 50 Cent, not them. No, Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro, a.k.a. John Morrison. Johnny Mundo, Johnny Impact, whatever you want to call him, John Morrison. And Melina was in the corner of Eminem there. I mean, the crowd gave Animal a huge pop when the show opened. Like the crowd was really behind Animal, and they were chanting LOD during this match. Heidenreich, I mean, I remember last year, I think he was feuding with the Undertaker, and then now he's in a tag team feud. So, 2004, he was feuding with the Undertaker, and now he's in a tag team feud. I don't know. I guess he really dropped off because I was never really a big fan of Heidenreich. But this match was not the greatest. I mean, all these guys work really well together and stuff. Yeah, but I mean, Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro, they worked on Animal's leg a lot during this match, or was that Heidenreich? I can't remember. That's how much I remember of the show. But yeah, just a really slow match here. Eventually, the Legion of Doom, or Animal and Heidenreich, they would get the upper advantage, and they would eventually hit the Doomsday device, the big LOD finisher, and after the match, so yeah, they would hit the big Doomsday device, and they would become new WWE Smackdown Tag Team Champions, which, pretty cool. Which I just recently watched Slammiversary from '07, so it's crazy, seeing Animal in a pay-per-view here, and then seeing him like a few years later jump over to TNA, like for a few shows and stuff, which is pretty cool. But Animal, I mean, he could still go here pretty good. I mean, he couldn't go like he used to, but I mean, he wasn't bad in the match here. This was just like a really, short match here, nothing crazy. And after the match, we had Animal, cut a promo, saying, this is for you, Hawk. And, you heard that, ooh, what a rush theme go on. And, it was all right way to open up the show. Nothing crazy. And then the next match we had was Booker T with Sharmell going up against Christian. I'm about to say Christian Cage. And this wasn't King Booker yet. That would come a few years prior. Or a few years later. This was an alright match here. I mean, both guys worked really well together. And this was when Christian, he just jumped over to Smackdown because he was just recently like in a big feud like earlier in the year, for the world title against John Cena and Chris Jericho. Now he's just like kind of like on in the second match, on a SmackDown show. I mean, him going over to SmackDown really didn't do much, in my opinion. And this is when Christian, he was working as a heel and stuff. I mean, this was a decent match. Both guys have really good chemistry in the ring with each other. I mean, we even saw Sharmell get involved, Christian tried to slap Sharmell during the match. And when the referee wasn't looking, she eventually slapped Christian. They brawled outside. Booker T and Christian, they brawled outside the ring. And then the ending came when Booker T hit a bookend. And then he went up to the top rope and hit a scissors kick for the 1, 2, 3. So Booker T was the winner here. I mean, it wasn't a bad match, but it was just a decent mid-card match. And then the next match we had was the United States Championship match. We had Orlando Jordan defending the title against the Rabid Wolverine, Chris Benoit. I never really understood like what WWE like really saw in Orlando Jordan, because I mean, yeah, he's an alright mid-card guy, but like wasn't like anything crazy like in the ring like to become like a big main eventer. I mean, he was decent, but like he wasn't like anything like a crazy mat technician. So I don't really understand what WWE saw in him. And then eventually, later on, like maybe like in 2010, he would go over to TNA Impact, and he would do his whole LGBTQ character, which I have nothing against that and stuff, and he, of course, he's a gay wrestler and stuff, but I have nothing against that. But when he finally went over to TNA, that's when he finally brought that out. But I mean, this wasn't a bad match here. I mean, Benoit carried a lot of this match. I mean, Orlando Jordan was trying to work on Chris Benoit's arm a lot during this match. Because the whole crippler crossface with the crossface and stuff, try to take away that arm so he can't use the crossface. I really don't remember how this match ended, to be honest. I know that. Oh yeah, Orlando Jordan. Yeah. He was untying the ring, the turnbuckle in the corner, and then Benoit ran into the turnbuckle, exposed turnbuckle in the corner. And then Orlando Jordan pinned him for the 1, 2, 3, and that's how the match ended. I mean, this match nearly went like 14 minutes. I didn't think the match needed to go down. I felt like the match went on longer, to be honest with you. I mean, it was a decent match, but I feel like Chris Benoit couldn't even like make Orlando Jordan look really good. I mean, like I said, he's a decent mid-card guy, but I just never really saw anything in Orlando Jordan. And also, Chris Benoit, despite everything, what he did, few years later. I mean, only if you fans know what only if these fans know back then what Chris Benoit's about to do, later on. But, despite everything what he did, he's still a great wrestler in the ring. Like I don't take that away from him. But like, there's no way he's ever going to be able to get into the Hall of Fame. Like, no way. Like, you can't. And if people say that he's in the Hall of Fame, like should be in the Hall of Fame, you're crazy. Because there's no way Chris Benoit should be able to ever to be in the Hall of Fame. Because how big WWE is and stuff. But that's a video I'll talk about on another day. Talking about that whole Benoit documentary and stuff. Because I want to talk about that with Dark Side of the Ring. But yeah, Orlando Jordan retained the United States Championship here. And then the next match we had was a singles match to determine the number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. So we had Undertaker going up against Muhammad Hassan with Daivari in the corner of Muhammad. Man, so this match here, boy, oh boy. So this is Muhammad Hassan, back in 2005, he was doing this whole gimmick, kind of like this whole racist gimmick and stuff, like kind of being like a, I don't know, I'll say the word, they're like terrorists and stuff, he's kind of being like that kind of character, being very stereotypical, like one of those characters, which I can't believe this is still like on Peacock right now and like on the WWE Network and stuff. Can't believe this stuff hasn't got erased, which I won't be surprised if it does eventually. But yeah, I mean, and of course, so I think it was like on a Smackdown, they had that whole like London bombing, like with those, and I tell you, if that never happened, I think Muhammad Hassan would have became like a world champion and stuff. And of course, 4 years before this, we had the whole 9/11 attack. So I mean, people haven't forgot what happened and stuff, and they had all these guys in ski masks come out and attack the Undertaker, and especially in the video package that was going on. Yeah, this was not very good. Like a very stereotypical character that WWE has done, and I don't know whose idea it was, like having him kind of like do this racist character. And what was SmackDown on? It was like UV. Oh, I can't exactly remember, but like SmackDown said, hey, or the people like the not like Fox or like the executives from that company go like, hey, we don't want him on TV because it's giving off a bad name for you guys. So they kind of buried him on this show here. And Michael Cole, he called these like ski mask guys during this match like sympathizers or something, sympathetic people. I can't exactly remember, but it's basically became like a lumberjack match. Basically, them just beating on the Undertaker a lot during this match, and I couldn't understand why, because Muhammad Hassan didn't look like a very believable character to me. In my opinion, he did not look very believable. So they had them do basically beat down the Undertaker and beat him up with a piano wire. But Undertaker did end up getting the victory here. He hit a chokeslam onto Muhammad Hassan for the 1, 2, 3. And then after the match, those sympathizers, they got beat up. I don't want to say terrorists and stuff, because I mean that's basically what these characters kind of were, which is terrible. Because like I said, with the whole bombing thing, that just gave off some bad vibes and go like, oh man, this put a bad rep on WWE. But yeah, Undertaker, he beat up those guys around the ring, took them out, beat up the Daivari a little bit, gave him a tombstone, and then threw him into the table. And then Muhammad Hassan was, just trying to run away. He was on top of the stage, and Undertaker was chasing after him. And Taker removed the steel grates. We all kind of knew what was coming here, So Undertaker removed the steel grates on top of the stage and gave Muhammad Hassan a last ride through the stage. Which is basically, it was on a crash pad, because if that was not on a crash pad, Muhammad Hassan would have died. I mean, seriously. And, you know, this is a way to kind of write him off TV, like, okay, yeah, we're never going to see his character again. And then, you know, they showed blood, you know, coming out behind his head, which, you know, that's kind of fake blood there and stuff. Of course, because like I said, Muhammad Hassan would have been dead if this was if there was no crash pad there. Which, you know, they removed it. You know, they played the spot off right. But, yeah, I mean, this was not a very good match. And I don't think Undertaker even got the chance for the world title here. Like, you know, at SummerSlam. Yeah, he didn't get a chance to go for the world title at SummerSlam. So what was the point? There was like no really point in this match here. But yeah, it's like a pointless match. A lot of the show was pointless, to be honest with you. Oh great, here we go. We got the next match. We got a 6-man tag team match. We got the Mexicools, Juvi. That's what I like to call them for short. Juvi, Psicosis, and Super Crazy going against the BWO, the Blue World Order. Stevie, Big Stevie Cool, the Blue Meanie, and Hollywood Nova. I'll tell you what. Man, I'm surprised this stuff hasn't got taken down yet. You know, like, kind of got censored on Peacock and stuff. I mean, it was not like it's kind of is racist, you know, kind of more stereotypical stuff at this time, you know, with the whole Mexicools driving out on lawnmowers, you know, that's very, very racist to do. I tell you, whoever idea that was, I bet it was, like Bruce Pritchard or, I have no idea whose idea that was to have him come out on lawnmowers. I go like, hey Vince, let's put him out on lawnmowers. Do. You know, like, I don't know. And then Vince goes like, that's a great idea, pal. You know, like something that I feel like Vince would have said that. I don't remember much from this match. I mean, I think it was a solid match and stuff, but the Mexicools did end up winning. And after the match, they hopped back on the lawnmowers, driving them backstage. Yeah, I don't remember much from this match, to be honest with you. It was this here. And, you know, not to, you know, say that these guys are battering. Like, Blue Meanie, you know, he was good. I mean, they were behind, you know, Blue Meanie. They were behind BWO a lot in this match. You know, they were chanting, EC dub, and, you know, doing all that chants and stuff. But, yeah, this match is kind of forgettable here. And then the next match we had was Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. And the stipulation was, if Eddie Guerrero would win this match, he would tell his big, you know, reveal his big secret on pay-per-view here and stuff. And, you know, this whole rivalry was revolving around Dominic, which, boy, oh boy. I mean, man, 2005, man, was this a weird year. This is a crazy year. I mean, Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, they always put on great matches there, but, like, I kind of wish they dropped this whole feud, like, with involving Rey Mysterio's son, Dominic. And it's crazy, you know, kind of looking at Dominic now. You know, he's taller than his dad and stuff. It's funny to see. I mean, it was a solid match. Both these guys have really good chemistry in the ring together. And, you know, RIP Eddie. You know, he did it for Eddie. You know, RIP Eddie here. And, you know, Eddie Guerrero, you know, he was just very cocky in this match. And, you know, that cockiness caught up to him. Like, he got rolled up in a crucifix pin. Rey Mysterio pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. And then, you know, Dominic and them, you know, ran away backstage. And the Mysterios were happy here. You know, like Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero got really cocky and stuff. This wasn't the best match between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. They had a lot better matches and stuff. But, I mean, this was a alright match. Probably the best match on the night, in my opinion. But yeah. And then the next match we had was a bra and panties match, and Candice Michelle, I bet I cancel right. Candice Michelle was a special guest referee. this was before the time when this was when women's wrestling actually mattered. And boy, this was when the women's division was in the dumpster, the straight dumpster fire and stuff. Like, I get it, they're, eye candy and all of that, but like, I mean, I kind of enjoy seeing it a little bit, but like, I want to see these women have some like pretty good matches. I mean, Tori Wilson, she's never really been a good competitor in the ring. But Melina, she's always been, she's been pretty good and stuff. She become, have good women's title reigns. And Candice Michelle, she would end up having a good title reign, a couple years later. But yeah, I mean, this was just a typical, Divas match back in the day, women's match back in the day. It's when WWE didn't care about them. I mean, Melina, she got her pants stripped off. But the winner of the match here was Melina. The heel won this match. Stripped off of Tori Wilson's clothes. And, the fans went crazy, for Tori Wilson. I mean, she was looking good, though. I'm not going to lie. She was looking really good. And then, after the match, we had, Candice Michelle and Tori Wilson. They strip off the rest of Melina's clothes. So I guess, everybody is kind of happy here. Everybody's getting stripped off the clothes. And then Candice Michelle, she'd go like, you know what? Why don't I show my assets? Assets. And she took off her, went down to her bra and panties, and everybody was happy here. I guess we were all the winners here. But no, this was like I said, this is when the women's division was not very good at the time. Like, straight dumpster juice. But yeah. No, I don't really have much else to say for this match. And then the main event we had was for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, a wrestling god. And Orlando Jordan was in the corner of JBL, going up against the World Heavyweight Champion, Batista. And kind of the whole storyline behind this feud was like, they were trying to crown a new world champion on SmackDown, because John Cena just recently went to Monday Night Raw in the draft, and they were without a champion. And so JBL won this like big, I think it was like a 6-way match. JBL won the match, and then Teddy Long came out and goes like, "Hey, we don't actually need a world champion because we got a world champion here, but you can become the number one contender though." Great American Bash, and they brought up Batista, so Batista made his flip over to SmackDown. This match did not need to, but now about this match did not need to go 20 minutes. This match went 20 minutes, like nearly 20 minutes, and like it was like very slow, like not my type of match here. Like, not like the pacing was just really off. These guys didn't have really good chemistry in the ring. Also, I hate the finish. I mean, John Bradshaw, JBL, he brought out a steel chair, beating up Batista with it a little bit, and then this is when the referee was out, and then Batista, he used a steel chair on JBL, and then he got caught with the chair, and the match ended with a DQ. And then he took out, Batista took out Orlando Jordan, left him out, laying in the ring. And, JBL was kind of laughing because he was saying he was going to be the winner at the end of the night, but, he didn't win, he didn't win the World Heavyweight Championship at the end of the night. So your World Heavyweight Champion was Batista. Yeah, not a very good match here. Not a very good show in my opinion. Like, this show was, I give the show a thumbs down. I don't really recommend checking out this show, to be honest with you. But if there's one match I would have to tell you guys to go back and watch. Go back and watch the Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero match. That's probably the best match. And that's kind of not really saying very much. But yeah, that was my 2005 Great American Bash review. On Wednesday, I'll be having my episode 28 of Juggernaut Retro Reviews. And That's going to be a Slammiversary review, which I already have that recorded for, like I said, Wednesday. And I called that one episode number 27. But this is episode number 27, and that's going to be episode number 28. So stay on the lookout for that video. And, some other videos that are coming up. I got some predictions. We're going to be doing some of those eventually here. I'm also going to review more of these Great American Bashes because, it's still July and stuff, Still got that, that American, that whole 4th of July vibe still going on right now. Like I said, I hope everyone had a great 4th of July, like I said at the beginning of the video. I hope everybody is safe out there with everything going on in the world right now. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And also, please smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. That will help me out a lot. Hit that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And, to stay on the lookout for more videos to come in the future here. And, yeah, this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. So, peace out.